Hello, everybody, and welcome back for the third round of our week number one of the PSS5. I'm Michael Hoyp. I'm joined in the booth by none other than Flint Espil. How's it going, Flint?
Hi, everybody. It's going well. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to watch some spiky pre-modern.
Yeah, we got Tom Metelsky up against Jeff White. Let's just go right in and talk about the decks that they have. I'll jump over to that screen, and we can kind of dissect what's going on between these two players. So if I go here. All right. So Tom has brought the blue-white Stifle Knot. He's brought blue-white Standstill, and then he also has the Rock. And then Jeff has red-green Goblins. Jeff has brought Parallax Replenish, and then Survival Elves. I was kind of thinking that, if anyone was going to play the Rock, I was kind of thinking Jeff was going to. But
Yeah, right.
yeah, but yeah. So
Maybe he still hasn't bought his naturalizes.
yeah, like from 3-4 years ago or whatever it was. Yeah.
Three and a half.
Yeah. Do you want to make any predictions of what people are playing, or do you just want to jump right over?
I haven't even looked at the layout or whatever. I've been super busy, so let's just jump into it.
That's fine. All right, let's jump down. So first we have Tom is playing Blue-White Stifle Knot.
All right.
So we saw this earlier in the hands of Rich Shea, and Rich played a really interesting game. So we'll see if Tom can do the same. So in short, this deck is trying to resolve a Phyrexian Dreadnought. You got to cast a Stifle or a Vision Charm to keep that guy around. It's also supplemented with Meddling Mage, which can either disrupt your opponent or protect your Dreadnought. And actually, a lot of times we just see a Meddling Mage attack for 12, sometimes 20 points of damage. So surprising that when someone's so focused on not dying to a 12/12 that a 2/2 just gets them. The rest of the deck is a lot of counter spells and card draw. But yeah, something that we really see, I think the metagame has shifted to favor this blue-white Dreadnought list. Really powerful, consistent, and really good. Do you want to say anything more?
Nope.
All right.
Move on.
So for Jeff, we have Survival Elves. So this has been a very powerful deck in Premodern's metagame. Kind of been shifting on the downturn for almost, it feels like a year. I don't know how long it's been, but this was the boogeyman for a while. Mm-hmm. And now it's just kind of faded in the back. I don't know what exactly has changed, but this deck is super powerful when left unchecked. It can assemble a chain of goblins, or a chain of elves thanks to Survival of the Fittest. Thanks to Anger, they have haste, and they can do some really broken things. One thing I'll note is Jeff has 2 copies of Biorhythm, which gives a different angle that the deck can attack. That sometimes you just say, okay, I have a bunch of mana and a few creatures. I'm going to make my life 4 and your life 1, and I'm just going to attack with 3 creatures, and then you're dead. So we'll see if that comes into play. Certainly an expensive card, but I've seen crazier things happen. We saw Shard Phoenix being returned and activated and played or whatever on the same turn, so I'm sure anything can happen. Do you want to talk about Survival Elves at all?
Is he running Tanglewire in his list? I was trying to look.
This one does not. So
what's he running instead? Because I think that's noteworthy.
A main deck Well-Wisher. There's 3 copies of Eldritch's Spear Guide, which can turbo out. I think the card you most want to turbo out is Priest of Titania. The difference between a turn 2 and turn 1 Priest is really big. Biorhythm is in there, and I think those are probably the differences.
Yeah, I think that's noteworthy for sure. That's pretty cool. I'll be curious to see how that plays out.
Okay. I'm ready to jump down to the match.
All right, I'll let them know that they can get started.
Okay. I guess I need to put up a quick poll for our friends. So we got Tom on the left with the Stifle Knot and Jeff on the right with the Survival Elves. I'll manage this prediction. And we'll say...
All right, while Hoyp's putting that poll up, just a quick play-by-play here. Turn 1 important by Tom.
All right, poll is up, so you got a couple of minutes. So Chad is asking, was that Thrall Champion? No, I think it was Dead White Was that what, or was it a different white? So um, Phil Nguyen does a random pre-modern card of the day, and so I think the joke has to do with Jeff White.
Red white.
Oh, Dread White. Is it WHITE?
WIGHT, I think.
As I spend all my time just trying to find this random Ice Age card, and we already have a Dreadnought in play.
Yep,
So
we've got a Dreadnought update.
Probably should focus on these things, but
Tom saying, "All right, I'm not going to give you the time or the respect, Elves player."
well, I mean, I don't even know if there's a main deck. I don't think there's a main deck Utabi or anything. So I think you just gotta go, like, combo out and like try and be faster. And when you're that's not always a given. So the life total is ticking down in a chunk of 12. So Jeff, this is a situation where like Tango Wire would be a card you might want to see. So
Yeah, very true.
and Jeff is going to go get the mountain, which could be. I mean, if there's a survival, I mean, like that is kind of an important factor in the turns where you get like really, really explosive plays. Okay, so all right, let's start doing this chaining of thoughts. So I mean, Jeff is actually really well set up, assuming that Tom doesn't have any disruption, which I don't think
Tom has disruption
I mean, Jeff can't play around it, so
in his mono blue deck.
Okay, so best case scenario, you have an elf or like a probably another Kieran Ranger. That would, I think, be the best case scenario.
Yeah.
And then you could tap for 3 mana. All right, we're discarding Miltani's Acolyte.
All right, Elves players in the chat, assuming no disruption here from Tom. What's Jeff's line to win this turn?
Yeah, I don't know if this has got to be close to like as close to textbook as like goldfishing. Like this would probably be like if you are like drawing it up, the turn 3 way to win, right? So okay, if we go get, I'll say a Kieran Ranger.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Tap priests for 2. Play a Kieran Ranger. I guess then you need to discard another creature and get. Is it Wirewood Symbiote then? Because eventually you're going to run out of creatures, right?
Mm.
Masticore?
Masticore. Huh.
Well,
each trying to block to stay alive.
Okay. Let's say you're going to need a lot of mana to shoot down a Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the plan. All right, we're playing Masticore.
But he still has a block with all of his creatures?
Yeah. No, he doesn't. Yeah, he can untap the elf. Nope. Yeah, I guess you'd have to block with 6 points of toughness, and then you'd lose your entire board.
Yeah.
Yep. So the Dreadnought deck takes a quick game 1, doing Dreadnought things.
They've been known to do that.
Yeah. Well, now we get to look at the sideboards. So,
did he?
I have the Survival Elves list up, and 3 Tormod's Crypt, 1 Crumble, 4 Naturalize, 2 Null Rod, 1 Druid Lyrist, 1 Caller the Claw, 1 Uktabi Orangutan, 1 Elvish Champion, 1 Genesis. Well, if you want to go in on hate against the Dreadnought, you've got Crumble, 4 Naturalize, and a Nuktabi Orangutan.
That all seems pretty good.
So is your game plan just to kind of be like, I mean, you have a good number of removal spells. Are you just going to try and like beat down with like 1/1s and 1/1s, kind of clock them, and then just like, are you not really even like looking to combo? I mean, I guess maybe you do if it. I mean, what are you cutting?
What cards are you going to bring in? You're going to bring in 6, the 4 Naturalize, the Crumble, and the Orangutan?
I think so.
So what do you bring out? You take out the 2 Biorhythms, you take out the Well-Wisher. So we need 3 more cards.
You could take out the Spirit Guides. I think this might be a match where you take out at least 2 of them. You could take out Kamal. I don't know.
Wait, 2 Biorhythm, Naturalize. I take out the Masticore as well. 4.
The one thing that I guess Meddling Mage is probably casting or probably naming Survival, so it might name Naturalize though. You might want to have a way to kill a Meddling Mage. I don't know if I would cut the Masticore. Also, like a 4/4 is not bad.
Maybe you just shave like 1 Acolyte and
yeah, I can see cutting.
Maybe the Spirit Guides have to come out.
I can see cutting Kamal. I think 2 Spirit Guides I would cut pretty quickly. Maybe you leave 1 in, but I don't know. I feel like the situations where you need to like survival for an Elvish Spirit Guide are probably pretty low.
Let's take a peek at their list.
Okay. Let me find it. All right, we have a Hydroblast, a Blue Elemental Blast, a Flash of Insight, a Winter Orb, 3 Swords of Plowshares, a Null, 2 Curse Totem, 2 Disenchant, 2 Last Breath, Armageddon. Well, that Curse Totem looks good, but
it sure does.
I mean, the one thing is, Jeff has a bunch of answers to it. I mean, that doesn't mean you don't bring it in, but it's not just game over kind of thing. What cards are underperformers?
Is Meddling Mage an underperformer here?
No, it's pretty good naming Survival, I think. It slows them down enough. Or like situations where you might just want to name Naturalize and just hope that you have enough time that your 12/12 is there. I think Meddling Mage is still one of your better cards.
You could just shave a couple of cantrips.
Yeah, the Ops.
He's on, or even a counter spell.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, with the Naturalizes, the games, like the counter spells, I think go a little bit up. Like the game's probably like, you probably are a little slower, but
what about the dazes?
Yeah, I could see getting rid of the dazes. That makes sense.
Okay,
you're on the draw, and it's a deck with a lot of mana.
Yeah, maybe you just cut the dazes and you bring in 2 totems and swords.
All right. Cool. Let's jump back down to the match. Players are shuffling up. Tom's up a game. I didn't even see our poll. Let's see. What did people think? 3/4 of the people thought Tom was going to win. So.
Oh. Jeff's mulling to 6.
I've seen. I mean, this was a matchup we used to see. I mean, it wasn't always the blue-white Stifle Knot, but the Elves has a good amount of tools fighting the Dreadnought. I would not be unhappy to be an Elves player in this matchup, I think.
Yeah, definitely a lot of interaction. We'll see how fast Tom is and if he can protect the queen. All right. So Jeff's putting 1 on the bottom. Looks like we're going to get started here. Down a card and down a life already. It's an uphill battle, folks.
Yeah, usually when your life total's chunks of 12, I think you're okay with that 1. Against the burn deck, it hurts a little bit more, but All right, Llanowar Elves.
Not as cool as Finhorn Elves, but we'll take him. We'll take him.
Tom's going to follow suit. He's going to fetch. He's going
What
to
a
get
gentleman.
an island.
Nothing, Hammy Bun. We waited for you.
We got more Finhorn Elves fans in the chat.
That's right.
All right, Tom's going to start with a port, targeting himself. He already used a fetch land, so he's a little bit less likely to have that option of keeping a couple and then shuffling away. He's looking at the 3 cards and then looking at his hand, and it looks like he's keeping. All right, he'll pass a turn, draw his extra card, thanks to Portent, and we'll see how quickly Jeff can get on the board. All right, we got a resubscription from James. Thanks, James Smits. Thanks for your support. 34-month streak. Oh, yeah.
34. Not bad.
You probably say that because you probably...
I think I just hit 35.
Okay. I think you were the first sub, and you probably just have it on auto renewal. So, all right. Well, Jeff has added to the board 2 Kyrian Rangers, a pair of Rangers.
2 Rangers.
And I mean, it could be interesting if we just get to the point where, yeah, we're gonna just start attacking with these elves. Well, he has. Wait, Oh no! Wait. Why didn't he untap the? He didn't play another land. Why didn't he use the Kyrian Ranger? Should we thank our latest subscriber?
No, I think we're good.
All right.
All right. So what are we naming here? Let's see.
Survival or naturalize? I think it's one of those 2 cards. All right. I think it's survival. I see an S and a U. There we go. Thank you, Tom. I should mail a signed Cloud Goat Ranger to people who have subscribed for a year. I mean, I'd have to like reach out to people to get their address, but definitely something I could do. It's unfortunate that Cloud Goat Ranger is not a pre-modern legal card, but
Womp womp womp.
All right, Jeff's gonna
Where's
add
my
the board.
sad horn?
Got the Multani's Acolyte and a Llanowar Elves. Will we see Echo paid for Multani's Acolyte?
Yes.
I mean, this might be a situation I think you do.
Yeah.
I mean, the 2-1 lines up really well against the... Yep.
Super well. Thanks for the gifted sub, Gabe.
Thanks, Gabe. Gift and subs to Olsen34. All right, I'll update the life total. It's down to 16. He's going to cast an Impulse. I mean, yeah, and this is a situation where, well, I guess that Meddling Mage does a pretty good job of holding most of the fort down, since 4 of the 1/1s can't really attack. But this 2/1 will chip in for a while. And you might get to the point, I mean, like, if you have enough creatures that, yeah, I'm willing to throw a creature into your 2/2 every turn if I'm able to deal 3 or 4 extra points of damage, that might work out in Jeff's favor. So
I'm going for a cantrip here.
looks like it.
Oh, late trip.
All right, so Tom's going to look at his 3 cards. Going to contemplate whether it's worth having a free shuffle and a new random card. Is he going to shuffle? I think he... I mean, he doesn't seem excited by these cards. That's all I could say. He's rearranging them, so I guess he's going to keep them.
He might be.
Yeah, Gush is not online yet. Hammy Bone has noted. This is one of the situations where like the blue white. All right, now Gush is online here at least, but I would say like you make a small sacrifice for your mana to cast Meddling Mage. I do think it's worth it. I think Meddling Mage is really good, but there are certain spots where it's a little bit awkward. All right, the 2/1 will chip in again, and then I don't think Jeff
Passes
did anything
again.
else, right?
Nope, he just passed back.
All right. At what point do you start attacking with those other elves?
Not yet.
Okay. Tom is going to Gush. He's going to float a couple mana. Add a couple cards to his hand. Is he going to make a proactive move here? Is he going for a Dreadnought, or is this just to kind of progress through his deck?
He doesn't have to yet. He definitely wants to make sure that when he plays his Dreadnought, it sticks, right? I mean, Jeff's got cards in his hand and he's not playing creatures out or anything, right? So you've got to assume that he's got interaction, right? What, 2 cards? How many does he have? At least 2.
We got a couple more subscriptions. Dimitri has gifted subs to Lanny and yet another Chad. So thanks, Dimitri.
You think the Acolyte's going to swing in?
I think he's met his match. Well, maybe there's a Naturalize or 2, and then the board he'll still be able to attack. So I mean, Jeff's plays have been a little bit passive, so you kind of have to think he has some amount of disruption, right?
Yep.
Because it's not guaranteed
That's
to
my
resolve,
guess.
but Naturalize, Crumble, and Uktabi Orangutan. Is there anything else? I mean, Biorhythm, I don't think it's in the deck, but this would not be a bad spot to resolve a Biorhythm. Guess you. Well, how much would you need to tap? You'd be able to do it. Great. Cradle to tap for 6. Okay. We have a
Is he doing this
Naturalize.
on his turn? Looks
Does
like
it
maybe he is.
does it make a difference? Like Vision Charmer would be out either way.
Yeah, but I mean, if he does it on Jeff's turn, then Jeff can't attack. Or excuse me, on Tom's turn, then Tom can't attack with the Dreadnought that turn. Right?
No, if Jeff did it at his turn, Vision it would still phase back in during Tom's upkeep.
No, I was asking if Jeff was doing it on his own turn instead of Tom's turn for that reason. It looks like Jeff is playing Naturalize on his own turn instead of on Tom's turn.
Oh.
Okay, he's doing it on his own turn because he wants to attack in. That
okay.
answers my
That's
question.
what you're saying for that one turn. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so all the elves go in. So this is attack for 1, 2. He gets in for 5. And we have an Elvish Spirit Guide. This one's just getting cast. I guess we're kind of getting to the point where, okay, it's like, so if this resolves, and there's a Finhorn Elves, if this Dreadnought were to attack, and the Meddling Mage stay back, then Jeff would attack for... 1, 2, 2 would get blocked. 1, 2. Just 6.
It's not much.
A little bit short.
Oh.
Yeah, this Dreadnought. Gonna knock Jeff down to 7. And barring... I think Jeff just needs another... Like, I guess Elvish Champion... Do you think this Meddling Mage will name Elvish Champion?
Oh, it's a good question.
I don't think that... I don't even know if that'd be a card I would
Probably
put
Naturalize. Yeah, it's naturalized.
All right. Yeah, that makes more sense. Are we gonna crumble then,
There's only one in the deck, right?
or a Nuktabi Orangutan?
Oh, yes. And Tom just got a grip full of cards.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't see a lot of options for Jeff. There's just not that many cards that matter in the spot. With survival named from a meddling mage and naturalize, I mean, like, it's just his most important cards are locked down. All right, so the 2/2s, 2-power creatures attack. I don't think there's any reason for Tom to block here.
No.
Wirewood Symbiote. All right, that will allow. Ooh, you could at least replay the Mutani's Acolyte. We got a subscription from Michael Arnold. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. All right, Jeff's spinning his wheels here. Let's see.
Okay. We got another Spirit Guide. So we're to the point where I guess you would block with a lot of the 1/1s first. Maybe not. Is this combat close at all, or is it still just Tom has an easy attack with the Dreadnought?
I mean, it's he could. Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He can't kill the Dreadnought currently. And if Tom attacks with everything, Jeff can block in a way that allows him to survive, but I don't think he can win on a crackback is the problem.
Okay. Is there? I mean, there's no like tricks, right? That Jeff can really have that would change here.
Yeah, Lanny's correct. 2 1-1s left.
Block with everything and then have a Collar of the Claw. That would be real good. I don't know if it's necessarily going to resolve, but I mean, just the regular combat math, and it would be so. Like, let's say you remember I talked about just like attacking at a random point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it would have been 3 damage, or would it have been 2? They were like 3 extra damage. Like if Tom was at 2 here, the game is very different. All right. So the turn gets passed. Yeah, I just feel like Jeff is going to have to make a block that's going to make him lose a large portion of his board.
Yeah.
To the point where I don't think he'll be able to come back. I don't know, kind of just a interesting dynamic where it's just like combat against a Dreadnought. Certainly not the Elves plan, since survival has been meddling mage, but it's really interesting like how much combat math has been involved in this game.
I mean, the other thing that Jeff could do is he could put a 2/2 on one mage and a 2/1 on another mage, and then he could absorb 6 points of damage to live. And if both mages die, then it opens up potentially a naturalize in his hand to finish off the Dreadnought.
Well,
That's another line, right?
Does Tom even need to attack with the mages?
I don't know if he does. Yeah, I think he just needs to bring in the dreadnought. Because he's not going to be able to kill Jeff if he brings the whole team. All right.
All right, which ones do you keep? I guess you keep Fireward Symbiote and Miltani's Acolyte. I don't know. All right, so 4 points of toughness. 5 points of toughness would be 7 trampling, so it needs to be 6, right?
Yeah, he needs to absorb 6 points.
I think Kieran Ranger's better than a second Llanowar Elf. Yep, so 6 points of toughness will get in the way. Jeff will go to 1. And from this spot, I mean, I don't even know what you can get. Uktabi Orangutan. Does Jeff have an Nantuko Vigilante?
Yeah.
Okay. That's another card that.
Dig, 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 dig. So Tom only has access to Daze and Foil Hair, right?
Yes.
And Vision Charm, obviously, if something targets the Dreadnought.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even think of like cards. I mean, I guess I can think of cards, but it just seems like if Jeff didn't have it before. Having for 5 mana, there's a priest. But without haste, the thing doesn't do anything. It's a 2 mana 1/1. Not a very good blocker.
Body language for Jeff, not great there.
Certainly a tough spot.
Yeah.
All right. So he's going to tap the Llanowar Elves. Use the. Oh, that's an Acolyte. Okay. I thought he returned a Kieran Ranger or something. I'm like, okay, so Multani's Acolyte will get returned and replayed. We're going to stifle a card draw.
Oof.
Now it's time for Utami Orangutan to come down, right? Cleared the way of that stifle. It's perfect.
Shows the survival and yeah, so there was a foil.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tom had his bases covered.
That'll do it.
But yeah, it was interesting. Obviously not what the Elves deck is trying to do, but just attacking with 1/1s was really close. So
let's hear what they have to say.
Yeah, let's jump down. And I will unmute the players.
Matchup in general. I mean, obviously, game one, there was nothing I can really do there.
Yeah, it's just like, well, yeah. I mean, Importance found the stifle, but yeah. Oh, wait, we can unmute them now, I think. So.
Hoip, did that get you back on time, on track?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that second game was really interesting though. Like I was talking about like on turn, I don't know what turn of like you had a 2/1 and some 1/1s, and it's kind of like at what point are you willing to like throw away a 1/1 to deal?
Do I just throw my guys into his?
And it's tough to figure out when you needed to kind of turn that corner, but
yeah, it could have been a turn earlier. I'm not 100% sure. Like the big decision in that match for me anyway was obviously I went turn 1 Elf, and then Tom played an island, and I didn't draw my second land, and I had a choice to play survival right then and there, or play those two Quirion Rangers, and I just didn't want to get the survival dazed at that point, so I played the Quirion Rangers, and obviously he played the good old meddling mage after that, and shut me out of the game. Oh,
Oh, hey there.
You got two Bills fans right here. Right. We just had to battle out. Yeah, no, that just showed like meddling mage being absolutely ridiculous. It just let me stall until I could find Dreadnought. But elves, it actually, Lanny and I think tested this matchup a lot. Like not for this, like beforehand, like for like Optricon and stuff. It's definitely close, but meddling mage definitely like helps shore things up because you can't like attack into like that's the problem, you know. And Jeff and I kind of like talked about it a little bit. Like that's just like a 2-2 wall.
Yeah, it really is. It's definitely a 2-2 wall, which is a game changer. And then, like you also don't have to worry about saving counter spells for survival at that point. Because the good thing about elves is that at any point when you play a survival, you can just win, and you take that off the table.
Yeah. Game one, I kind of like. So my hand was good. I contemplated. I didn't have the. I had a Dreadnought, but I didn't have Stifle or Vision Charm. And then Portent found Stifle. So I mean, that's what Dreadnought does, I guess. But
yeah.
But those hands, like if you miss, then I do nothing. So.
Yeah, I was like so flustered game one after the turn 2 Dreadnought on the play, or I was on the draw, obviously. Like I could have gone in for a Nantuko Vigilante and like flipped it on his turn, but I was like, he either has a Stifle or a foil or something. Let's just scoop this up.
So you were close to like doing like the busted thing, like because you're with the Quirion Ranger and the Priest and Survival. Like that's probably as close to like ideal. I guess maybe there might be like a Llanowar or Elves mixed in there, but it looked like I don't know Elves as well, but like I'm like that seems like you could do something really powerful, especially because you got the mountain too. Yeah.
Oh, believe me, it was killing me. We were talking about it after game one, and again, I didn't know we didn't talk about what Tom's counterspell situation was after game one, what he was holding. But like I can do, if I'm on the play there, I can do things. But on the draw, I don't have enough mana. Like I could have done an Nantuko Vigilante on his turn, flipped it, but that was about it.
Yeah, I think he had days in like 2 meddling mages, but no planes or Adakar wastes. So it was definitely awkward. So if the Portent missed, I think I would have been in trouble. But I think there's a high percentage just gonna like for the Vision Charm or the Stifles.
Yeah. I haven't played Elves against the blue-white version of it, but it's certainly those meddling mages certainly help the matchup.
All right, I'm just looking at chat to see if they have any questions for you guys. Doesn't look like they had anything specific about this match.
I wanted to do. This was actually the one match where I was hoping I could do my Elvish Spirit Guide first turn, Priest of Titania, but that didn't pan out.
Sure. I think that's the reason to play more Elvish Spirit Guides, right? Is to get that draw more often.
That first turn Priest is insane. Yep. Like if you play this a little bit or you just even Goldfish it, it's just unreal what you can do with a first turn Priest followed by Quirion Ranger or whatever. Like basically anything.
Sure.
Yep. Good times.
All right. Well, thanks, gentlemen. I think we'll kick you out here and we'll get ready for the next players, and we'll see you both next week.
All right, good game, Jeff. Thanks, guys.
All right, Flint. Let's take a short break as we'll get things set up for our last match of the evening, and we'll be right back.